Hello guys, welcome all to this video. So I'm here to explain about how Augment code is useful in our project. So I have made up a project called Spotify DevOps project where I have cloned my this project to my GitHub repo also, and I have my projects in clone to my local repo. So here I'm going to explore about the how Augment code is probably used in Visual Studio. So it helps us to automate whatever the things we're gonna do, or like it helps to test the project in a local repo. So also it helps to debug the things, whatever the things we are going to made manually. So this argument code helps us to guide through whatever the steps we want to do, readme file, whatever it helps to fix the bugs. It helps to showcase the how it we wants to understand everything. So probably this argument code is free for nearly, I think it we can use for 50 types of users. Okay. So we can use for 50 types. So this is my local repo where I'm showing. So this and I am here to explore about the project called Spotify I have mentioned ago. So I tried to run through the Nginx file in my terminal, but I got error. So and then how the argument code is helpful here, I'm going to explain in this video. Okay, so let's explore the video. So first, I'm going to show here about the GitHub repo. So what are the things of here? I have given me the README file, how this wants to execute. What are the steps, possible steps? I think the most impressive way is by all this, I have created to a argument code. So what is argument code? So it helps us to automate or it helps us to build the software by giving a prompt. Whatever the prompt you are giving, this argument code is attached to our Visual Studio and it helps us to run in our terminal by the one. Okay. So I'm here to explain about the how it start from the starting it created this project, how this Docker Compose. See, this is my Docker Compose where in my project I used to create this. So this argument helped to me create all this like the front end, back end, how this my Docker Compose file needs to be looks like. See, this is my front end file and this is my Prometheus file, Docker Compose file. How all this wants to looks like. Like this is a Grafana or in which node it's which port it wants to expose. All the things it helps us to generate by its own by the argument code. Okay. Now I will explore the left side of this argument code session. This is a session where on down terminal it helps us to automate. What are the things it will helps us to automate the code? What are the command I wants to do? It helps us to automate the code. Okay, the first thing. So, and the first thing is like these are the files created by the argument code. Like for my project, we need a for front end, we need index.html, and then we need a dependency file, so on, so on. Everything we need. So this argument helps me to create the code whatever we want. Okay. So see, before while running a execution, we got error like Nginx file because this file was missing. Later, it's stated by the argument code. Yeah, it has the power to create a code or modify the code, whatever the things. Argument code is easy to do by just in a automate. It helps to do. It helps to debug by its own. Just we want to give a command what we want to give the prompt. It's more helpful in Visual Studio. Okay. So I'm here to explain you about the step-by-step See, I have from the starting of this code. What is this file will create like? I just given a prompt on a front which is not visible here, but this files create a step-by-step process like a front-end, back-end, Nginx files, Docker files, or Prometheus monitoring tools or security tools, whatever the things. Yeah, what I said, see, Docker Compose, like authentication, login pages, or inside the login pages, or what he wants to do, like Spotify music, or a backend, RSC. It helps us to create all by its own. By I will just give you a prompt. So that's it. So make use of this argument code. This is a future, is we all know, right? Yes. Okay, and so on. So yeah, as I explained, Yeah, these are the files will be created from start of the project to ending of this project. I help, as I told no, if you give a prompt, it helps to from end to end project. It helps to create by its own, like package station, what are the dependencies we need, it will inside by its own by just giving a command. Also, it helps us to create a README file step by step, like what are the commands we want to execute, and you can upload that in your GitHub also. It helps to more. Probably, I used to learn from this argument code before I getting played. This helps me a lot to understand the code, how step by step. Yeah, that's a major thing. When how I got placed is this argument code because for each scenario, I helps to generate me a code by argument code, and then I read that code step by step, like Terraform TF code, Ansible TF code for configuration management, Terraform for provisioning. By each code, I will understand. I try to do it my own with the help of argument code for the scenario. Like if I want to say like I worked on a telecom building project, or I wants to say like if I work for e-commerce project, creating a future for DevOps project. Yeah, so this helps us somewhat for it as a DevOps engineer. This argument code helps in more, but in production, this argument code you won't use because this argument code, if you use in production, this code. See, this is a prompt I shall show you. So yeah, if you use in production, it asks us to provide all the details like README files, production. So maybe outside we can able to use, but not in production because we can refer what are the things we want to. We can refer, but we can't help. It doesn't helps in production as it may leak to their database. What are the things we are doing here, it may attach to their database. So that's what's the main thing I'm here to mention. But we can learn end to end how this program file codes are created, like server.js is more helpful in Nginx. So yeah, you have to learn each file now. So this helps us to learn each file, then ChatGPT in real-time visual code. ChatGPT we can generate, but by giving a prompt, we can't develop a large place enterprise model. But at here, it helps us to medium level enterprise project in this VMware. Okay, so this helps us some argument code. This is how the argument code is raised. Yeah, so why I said it start within production, like probably if you wants to connect to our AWS, we may provide our AWS secret manager, AWS secret token, passwords, DB passwords, everything you wants to share. Maybe we wants to share to our argument code. So that doesn't allow in our production. Obviously, we will have our AWS secret or Ansible Vault or secret vault. So, but even though if we have that, that doesn't helpful to our to just so that's what I said. Doesn't help in production, but for our self learning, it it do play a major role for our self learning. How this argument code is gonna work, how we can use in our project. Yeah, how we can evolve with this switch up to our future. Everything is really guided through. Okay, so just stay a bit. I will come back. Yeah, as I said, so this helps us to create from starting to end. It's this Terraform, just giving a prompt, it helps us to create what are the things I have asked you for. Terraform files or Ansible files. You just type, I just want a e-commerce Terraform file, Ansible Terraform file. It will create automatically and give us, like it will also mention a project name, like if I want to see e-commerce project, so that will be helpful. Then if you want to tell for Spotify S3 bucket, for it will vary, like Spotify, we wants to add like music to a S3 bucket backend in AWS. So it helps us to fetch from details from that. So just giving a prompt. So this helps us to provide whatever the things uh, from scratch to end. So make use of this argument code to your end-to-end projects or your self-learning. from your DevOps project. So this helps us to more. Okay. So by the way, ChatGPT or a GitHub, you can get more projects in ChatGPT or GitHub, but you can create your own projects here. What by giving inputs, the argument code helps to give. It helps to automate the whole project by one clicking. So that's even more powerful here. Yeah, it helps to more to a production or if you want to learn everything, so it helps there too. So that's a major advantage to you to get learning through this platform. Okay. So as I mentioned here, this file is executing all for my project Spotify cloned project I have and gonna create. Obviously, we do have on our GitHub repo like a Spotify cloned projects, but here I'm creating on my own by using my some methodologies. It's also use Axios API. In real, if they use the REST API. I have compared online GitHub projects, GitHub Spotify project, but I am here modifying those with the help of argument code. Yes, obviously we want to learn everything before coming to this argument. But this helps us to done all. See, I have after done everything. See, it also do a health check. Like after I mentioned like front end, back end monitoring, Terraform, Ansible. So this will create all as I mentioned. And this also mentioned like a key features implemented. And this also see also how we wants to run up the next steps, how we wants to know project like NVM install the current install. These are the step by step it will guide through. So whatever the things we want, it just helps us to proceed with this human code so easily. So make use of this project. Okay, make use of this argument code. So I do have in my GitHub repo like more projects like e-commerce project or Spotify projects. These are the are creating portfolio for my project. I have worked on a three-tier application demo projects earlier. So this argument code by this I have worked all through this argument code. This helps me to create lots. Okay, and so make use of this argument code as I have mentioned to you. So let's explore how the outputs I gonna give. Probably if you wants to execute from the scratch how this project like after creating I wants to execute those projects, right? If you want this video, just say me here. I will just proceed those because I have not done whole projects. I have I have just done how argument code is helpful and then how this will be useful in our project or future career, our career enhancement, how it helps us to grow. So as I mentioned earlier, also this will help us to fix those error. As I mentioned earlier. So I have said like the Nginx file is missing and the index file is missing, backend controller is missing right before from the starting. But see, this helps us to resolve all those issues by its own by giving I'm facing issue or screenshot in the agent here. So this helps us to resolve the issue here. So also it helps us to run the container Docker container. It helps us to check through whether if we're facing issues or not. It helps us to run throughout the project and it helps to end-to-end deployment. Also, it helps us to enhance our existing project users by guiding through. We can use few more future by adding those. It guide us through like this. So this is my project I have created. Probably I just done a little something project, small projects, not a whole real project. So yeah, we can able to see it had got succeeded my project running. So I can just go to my this links like I can able to access my local repo like to this projects like localhost 300, 3000, backend API 5000, Grafana 3001. These are the local hosts. Probably I have run this project on a local host, not on AWS basis. Later, I will run this project on with configuring AWS by setting up easy to instance or whatever the VPC or whatever the things are backend, whatever the thing, setting up a backend, and I will run it through a Terraform Ansible for configuration, provisioning management. So I will set up all and I will show you the project in deep dive mode. So if you guys all want this, all want the setting, I wants to explain all those step by step. Just say me. I will just explore. I will just show you how this argument code is helpful to setting up in AWS cloud resource also, like AWS microservices also. That helps us more in our argument code. This argument code helps us in that part too. Uh, it helps us to like what are the commands you wants to give to Terraform or Ansible to set up. It helps us to guide to end-to-end product. So make use of this argument code. This helps us to self-taught learning. By this self-taught learning, I got placed in a company like cloud computing. So probably I will say if you want to say about detail more about that, I will say you later. So make use of this argument code uh, by attaching to a Visual Studio and enjoy your self-learning journey. So thank you all. If you have any videos or doubt, just comment me down in this video. I'll rectify you. Thank you all for watching.